One day saw the strangest thing.
We saw some folks a-playing something new, and I just had to ask her what they do. Look like ping pong and badminton's child, playing with a wiffle ball, running wild.
Called it PA class for all the seniors. Said, honey, we're way too young to play this.
And all I heard was that annoying sound, that dink, dink, dink on the pickleball ground.
I said, why is everyone smiling with such cheer?
Sports ain't about smiling, they're about winning round here.
Then we saw construction in our neighborhood, a pickleball court for the common good.
Folks were lined up just waiting for their turn, a lesson about the future we would learn.
Saw a vanity plate on a shiny Tesla car, a pickleball logo, man, what a bizarre. Then I heard that Kevin Durant plays, and Jamie Foxx and LeBron these days. Saw a fella on the court looking ripped and tall. He was not a senior citizen at all. We said, I guess I could try just for fun, you see, 'cause from the sidelines it looks so easy. But you play one time and you wanna commit, there's a whole lot of skill involved in it. Yeah, you play one game and it's plain to see, this is who we are now, it's our destiny.
My watch gave me exercise credit, you know. That sound ain't so great, but I have to admit it feels pretty good when you give that ball a hit.
She said, I've got a tennis lesson tomorrow night. I said, honey, cancel it. And she said, all right. And we were supposed to go bowling again. I said, cancel that too, we're playing till then. Now we're learning the kitchen and that third shot friend. We said, I guess I could try just for fun, you see, 'cause from the sidelines it looks so easy. But you play one time and you wanna commit, there's a whole lot of skill involved in it. Yeah, you play one game and it's plain to see, this is who we are now, it's our destiny.
3 hours flew by, felt like 20 minutes passed.
She said the kids need a ride, this fun's going too fast.
I said they can walk home, it's just 3 miles or so. We've got another game in us, you know. Got honeycomb paddles for a wicked new spin.
Gonna enter a tournament, gonna dive right in.
Gonna open a restaurant and make pickle beer.
Then you hit a dig shot and I started to cheer.
I yelled, honey, with a shot like the one you just began. You look like Ben frickin' John. We said, I guess I could try just for fun, you see, 'cause from the sidelines it looks so easy. But you play one time and you wanna commit, there's a whole lot of skill involved in it. Yeah, you play one game and it's plain to see, this is who we are now, it's our destiny.
I'm ready to dedicate my life to pickleball.
Yeah, pickleball, yeah.
And say, hey, I have something, I'd really like to bring this to life. And maybe it's just been sitting in there for a long time, not looking at anyone in the room directly. You know, I see you. But what is in your mental garage? And when I wake up on Wednesdays, I'm very excited. I have to stay very focused because I lose track of time because I'm very focused to be here at 1MC. But bringing it each day. And I want to say thank you for bringing it. It's not just me, but thank you for bringing it. Your smiles, your laugh, your connection, and then supporting our entrepreneurs. We're building something really incredible together, which I really appreciate. But I wanted to say, what's in your mental garage? Like Trevor and I love to share little words of wisdom, but for you today, what's in your mental garage? Is there something you'd like to do, or a side gig, or something that you wanted to do when you were a kid that you never did? I had someone that has this really cool t-shirt idea, and he plays golf. And it's not golf related, but it's super funny and cool, and the equipment sat in his garage for 20 years. I'm like, when are you going to dust it off and do something? And so he's inspired to finally take that and move that forward. That's what we do. That's the work that we do. We celebrate you. We help you reach that space where you need to be. We'll connect you with resources. We'll mentor you. And so just anytime you have that, if you have something, an idea, something that you've maybe even been too afraid to bring forward, let us know. Reach out to myself or Claudia or Trevor. We'd love to help you along the way. I have announcements at the end, but I'm going to wait because they're pretty cool. And then you'll sit in anticipation because don't know what I'm going to say. And then it won't be as great as you think, and you'll be disappointed, but that might be terrible. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to have the person who is presenting today, David, come to stage, and I want you to give him a warm welcome because what he has is super cool. Here's your microphone. You got to turn it on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, friend, go.
Does this work? Okay. Thanks for being here. My name is David Conover, and I'm an entrepreneur. This is my second time as an entrepreneur. The first time, I started a dating agency for chickens, but I couldn't make hens meet. Can I drop this mic? I'm sorry. That's terrible. So I'm here today to talk about Next Open Court, which we just started our soft launch. It's in the minimal viable product. That's the plastic avatar version of me, which my wife likes much better than this version of me. That was a little rude. And then Jack Picklesock, which I'll talk about, who is our Chief Innovation Officer. And if you can guess, yes, this is about pickleball. But a little bit about me. I'm not from around here, but this is my third time in Grants Pass. Thanks to Keith and Alicia, my family here. If we can give them a nice round of applause welcoming. We keep getting drawn back to Grants Pass because of them and the climate. But as some context, my 30-something year career has kind of spanned all over the globe, and whether it's outdoor recreation, education, whether it's sports, the commonality of all that has been building community. And it's something that is really core to who I am as a person, and it's core to what Next Open Court is about. And so all these paths have led me back to here. And as a point of a reference, I was the proud founder of the Ukrainian Pickleball Federation. I was there for 7 years. So before I left, the Ukrainian government recognized it as an official sport. My wife, Jennifer, who's not here today, would make fun of me because we'd be walking down downtown Kiev, and there would be a wonderful babushka bent over walking, and she'd be like, "Oh, do you know her from pickleball?" I'd be, "Yeah, Olga's really good." And so I've had a long involvement, thank you, Mike, with biggest fan. But let's talk a little bit about what Next Open Court is and how it's an opportunity to build community. But a little bit, as we know, about pickleball, y'all. The Great American Volley hits Southern Oregon. Love it, like it, not sure about it, despise it. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States with a 45% year over growth. There's 25 million active pickleball players. 19% of U.S. adults have played. If you played pickleball in here, just show of hands. Okay. If you're going to play pickleball after this presentation, raise your hand. That's awesome. There we go. There's an $850 million investment needed to keep up with the courts. There's an estimated 70,000 courts in the United States. As we know, Rogue X is building 20-something outdoor courts, and they're already saying it won't be enough once they're built. And so it's one of those investments. And do we have anybody with the city or the Parks or Recs here? Maybe, no? There's probably no hesitation on their part that they've glad they've made the investment in courts here in town, because you go about any time of day and they're filled with a 9-year-old playing with their 65-year-old grandma, or a wide range of people. So it's a really accessible sport. The market's really crazy with the pickleball app, so I'm going to justify why we need Next Open Court and why it's focused on Southern Oregon. It's a hyper-local pickleball app. I talked a little bit about return of investment. It's such a great sport because there's a low entry to barrier. It's not expensive to play. It's on a smaller court that's about 30% the size of a tennis court. So you don't have a lot of mobility. Anybody at any skill level can play. And you rotate partners, so it's a very social game. When you're playing at most, you're standing 14 feet away from the person in front of you. So it's hard not to smile and see and get to know them as they're pegging you with the ball or whatever else, but it's fun. And there's been a lot of studies by USA, Pickleball Association, and everything else that talks about bridging the generational gap and how it's revitalized dead spaces. It's just a good community investment. The challenge is most pickleball infrastructure and software is aimed at about 5 to 10% of the pickleball community. Arizona, Florida, Utah, Austin to Dallas, now like Cincinnati is really taken off, and it's aimed for that. There are approximately 20,000 pickleball clubs, and here we have Rogue Pickleball Club. It's a volunteer-run club. There's SOPA in Southern Oregon, that are unhoused, that are off the beaten path. So about 85% of pickleball players in the United States are in these wonderful places like Grants Pass that don't have the infrastructure, the software to help them play the game. And so they end up using Pickleheads for discovery, or a playtime scheduler to schedule, Facebook, WhatsApp to communicate, other apps like Swish or pickleball tournaments to run tournaments. And it's a lot of work, especially when you're a volunteer. So the idea behind Next Open Court is to address these to be a central hub. Now, Next Open Court is a hyper-local app. Is it scalable? Yes. Can we white label it, move it to other parts of the United States, of the world? Yes. But it's really focused on Southern Oregon because, again, I'm buying into building community, and there's a lot of community building that can happen through pickleball. So I'm going to go through and just talk really quickly about what the app is. And you'll notice, you see this a lot, these plastic action figure avatars. It's a game. It should be fun. We should represent ourselves however we want. So that's kind of the reoccurring theme of the app. But it's made for 3 people: athletes, and pickleball players are athletes. So they can pick an avatar that represents themselves. They can connect with other players that match their playing style. Next Open Court is for clubs, to make it easy for them to organize and plan events, to build community. And then for venues, and we have Pickleville, we have Club Northwest, we have the YMCA that offers, we have some venues in Medford area. That's who the app is intended for. This is the place, this is the court. And so on here, we have a comprehensive listing of courts in Southern Oregon. And really part of this is to make it look fun. So again, we use this plastic action figure avatar style. When you go on the app, you can see where the location's at, how many courts are at each venue or public. And then you go to a particular page like Fruitdale Park, it tells you, you can click on the event button and it says, these are events that are scheduled here. So if you want to look at a particular venue, and then also Rogue Pickleball Club, this is a Parks and Rec city park, but Rogue Pickleball Club offers events there. So the club gets that kind of recognition. The other big part of it is the scheduling, where you can see how many games are offered every single day in your community. And so it's a really comprehensive list that you can see. This was pulled from yesterday. Just in our area, there was 25 events. This is just cut off a screenshot. And then 19 events the next day. This is kind of what it looks on a phone, because most of us will access it from our phone. You can see starting on the left, here's a game. This is at Pickleville. It tells you that the second image there tells you how many people are playing, what the skill level is. You can click and you can see people's player cards, which again is kind of fun. And then it's really easy to add players by searching for their name, or if they're dink partners, which means friends, or if they're in a club or anything else. I'm supposed to be looking at you for 1 minute, right? How am I doing? Fantastic. Perfect. Oh gosh, game scheduling and event management. So on this, we can run all kinds of tournaments and events. Again, all in one app, from open play to round robin to doubles league. Pickleball Heights in Central Point is using it for the round robin and double leagues for Team Challenge. There is a new Southern Oregon High School Pickleball Club League that's starting with high schools. They're going to use Next Open Court for their app on this, which is pretty fun. It's standings and stats. Even though it's a game, we like to consider ourselves as athletes.
Ball players are athletes.
This one, is it possible? This next slide.
Pickleball players are athletes. We run, we bang, we lob, we run. Connect with other athletes in Southern Oregon and find your game. NextOpenCourt.game.
And so a big part of this with the plastic avatars, and if you heard some of the pickleball music ahead of time, it's intended to be viral content pushed out on social media to drive people to the app. So instead of paying for marketing, we make it fun because games should be fun. And again, you can see a listing of people's profiles that they've set up already in it as we do the test. This is what it looks like. Chad Vest, if you know Chad, that was awesome that he chose that as his avatar. And it has some information. So again, it says where they play, his age bracket, his rating. We'll have stats when they do in tournaments, memberships, and everything else. And then, of course, there's dedicated pages for clubs and venues, because right now clubs have to use WhatsApp groups and text messages and Facebook, and then they have to maintain a website and then use all these different apps. So clubs can come and say, we want to run our entire club through the app, which makes it really easy to coordinate and everything else. We will have training guides in there as well. Again, you can see Jack and Sarah Picklesock, our little AIs. Original music, which you heard some of it. If you want to write some pickleball songs, talk to me. And then podcast as well. And this is intended, again, as viral content to drive people to the site. And the big last thing that I have is we are launching later this spring, early this summer, the Coast to Crater Pickleball League. And this will be a little bit different. It'll go from the Redwood Coast to Klamath, through the Rogue, all the way down perhaps Mount Shasta area. And businesses, individuals will have an opportunity to buy a franchise. You own it. $5,000 entry fee. $5,000 is pretty low an entry fee. You'll own that team forever. It's an investment. We'll have a draft of amateur players, so we'll have a couple round robins. They'll be on here. We'll rank them. You'll draft, and it's MLP style, so 2 males and 2 females. And then you can have reserves. And then we play games against other clubs and businesses. Of that $5,000 investment, $1,000 immediately goes back to buy professional level gear with your logo, Next Open Court logo, brand new professional paddles for the athletes. So our players get this really cool swag. And as a business owner, you get to represent and say, this is a team that I own. And then it's an 8-month-long season. There'll be several big tournaments where they all come together. Being that we're Southern Oregon and rural, I'm fairly confident with some of the early conversations we have that we'll get lots of coverage, television, radio, and everything else, so good marketing for businesses. And then these athletes, whether they're a 20-year-old or a 67-year-old grandpa, get to be professional athletes and play in these cool, really tournaments and leagues. At the end of the season, we'll relegate teams down or promote them up, and then year 2 will start after that. And if you're interested, you can scan this and see the pitch deck. And I went over time, but thank you. If you have questions about the dating agency for chickens or Next Open Courts.
Okay, so your $5,000 buy-in, I am a business owner. How much am I responsible for? Are they just playing and you're using open court and they're doing that, and I'm just sponsoring, or what does that look like?
As little or as much if you want. So we'll actually have a draft, so you can be the person that drafts the players that are on your team. You can assign somebody can do it. It can be an auto draft. We'll have a commissioner that manages the league, and it's really kind of up to you, and it's an investment. So in year 2, we'll get together as the team owners in league and we'll say, what do our fees need to be in league in season 2? And it might be $500, $1,000 just to maintain for insurance and officials and everything else. But it'll be your team forever. And the idea being is that this will be an investment, and maybe in 2 or 3 years you're able to sell it because we're going to have a limited number of teams.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, no, great question. I have the paperwork right here for your team.
Hi. Your presentation was amazing. Do you mind sharing the tools that you use to build it and like all the avatars? Kind of what is your technology stack? Because it's just beautiful.
Thank you. I am 100% a vibe coder. So this idea started in 2017 when I was in Ukraine and I was trying to organize games with my terrible Ukrainian using WhatsApp, and it was just a disaster. So tried to have the idea, went to some developers of like, can you help with this? How much would it cost? And it was just not a good price point for me at this point. And honestly now with Claude and with Gemini, it is really easy. And I started building this whole process in November, and it seems like every other week there's an update and the AI is able to do more. And so it's pretty incredible. So the songs were kind of my lyrics that I plug into Suno, which is an AI generation thing. I apologize to all the musicians here. The avatars, we use Gemini and Midjourney, some other ones. The coding, I'm all using on Firebase. And again, using, not to get too much in the details, but you asked, but basically coding using Gemini or Claude. So it's been fun. It's been a great learning curve. And 2 things here. If you want to hire me to build something for you, I can. The second part is it's really making it easy for people in the creative space to expand their toolkit and skill set, what they can do, until it takes over the world. So, did you? I think we're maybe here. Yes, ma'am. The $5,000 investment.
No, you had a $50 investment thing up there. It says $50 investment.
I'm not sure the $50. I think that's so for a team to buy a team or no?
No, not to buy a team. I just thought I saw something that said $50 investment.
Oh, to get equipment, yeah. It's a pretty low entry point to get an entry level paddle and pickleball and stuff to play. So it's the sport is really accessible. And for a lot of our Rogue Pickleball Club, or if you go to Club Northwest, they have loaner gear that you can do it. So it's the idea is to make the game accessible to anybody and everybody.
I see. Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. Yes, sir.
Project, where would you see it going after it leaves Grants Pass, and how do you see that mechanism working? We've talked about it a little bit, but I'd like you to tell the folks.
So how is the app going to make money and grow?
Yeah,
maybe sorry. Southern Oregon is intended to be the petri dish, proving grounds. That's a much more better word. Proving grounds for next open court. And again, being it hyper local, my intent is it to be a forever free app for Southern Oregon. This is where we try it. This is where everything else. The Coastal Crater League, some sponsorships will kind of help pay the bills and the mortgage that keeps stuff open when we do that. But the idea is that once when we have this wired, that it is something that we can take to Bend or Portland, Seattle, or other big pickleball communities and say, you can have a white label version of this, or you can use nextopencourt.games like you see it now and have your own clubs listed there and everything else. So it's designed to be hyper local, but also to scale as much as possible. And I've had some interest on a national level of 2 different groups now. One that's wanted to buy the app, and I said no, and another one that wants to invest that I'm considering. So I think it's a little bit different than what's in the market right now, which is exciting. Does that answer your question?
Right here, Jerry. Go ahead.
Yes.
So Club Northwest, you call and you sign up for a time for the city parks and things, if there's multiple apps out there, are you taking care of people who just want to go show up at the park, or are you more organizing events and pickleball events, as opposed to scheduling at a local park?
That's a great question. So right now people use Playtime Scheduler, which is a utility tool. It's not very inspiring, not that it has to be. It's a scheduling app, it's not a reservation app. So people use it to communicate and organize, and they show up at Fruitdale or someplace else and play. And if there's other people on the court, there's other people on the court. You can't boot them off because it's a public court. But the conversations we've had with Club Northwest and everything else is if we're all on a unified system, it really makes it easier to reserve a game, to set up something else. My intent when doing this wasn't to get into the business of working for venues where we accept payments and they can do reservations. This is the block of time. But there's been a lot of ask for me to do that. So I believe that's a direction that we can go. But from here, you can look on the calendar and you can say, oh, I want to look at games just in Rogue North, which is the region that we have here. So there's 2 games that are scheduled today. And these are ones that I'm importing in because there's not people that are actively using this except for the club pages. Or you can search in different regions that you want. You can look at my games, the games that I'm involved in or playing that I'm hosting. To kind of answer the question, it says you can see the ended tags on there or underway. Do a quick look, you can say, oh, this game is starting soon. And I think maybe there's a starting soon. This one at Mount Shasta Resort. You can filter just by Grants Pass, so it's really a pretty good tool. You can also save it where you get notifications like, oh, I'm going to stalk Mike because he's a great pickleball player and we're Dink partners, so anytime he signs up for a game, I can get a notification. Or I want to know when something's being played at Fruitdale. I can get a notification when someone creates a game there. So it's a pretty vibrant thing as well. Again, with the places to play, I'm sure I haven't answered your question yet, so I'll go back to it.
So just real quick follow-up.
Yeah. That's a great question. Yes. Well, first of all, pickleball is a pretty open community that you can just show up and play. That's the way it works. But pickleball players, not us, are a little bit crazy. And they're really ranked on like this rating system. So like I'm a beginner, I'm a 2.5, or I'm a 4.5 professional. But we're off the beaten path, we're in-house, so most of us don't actually go through official systems to get a rating. To say, oh, I'm a 3.5 and this is what I can do, or I'm a 4.0. So we have something called Pickleball DNA. And the whole purpose of that, I got to put this down. Okay, everybody's watching. No pressure. I'm really nervous. So we've created something called Pickleball DNA, and it's a free version. When we go outside of Oregon, this will probably be a premium thing that people can pay for. You're asked a whole bunch of different questions of like, in this situation, what do you do? If you're doing this, what type of shot? Now, how successful you are, but what type of shot do you do? And it comes up with something where it basically charts what your DNA is, because we think that style is more important than skill. Because Mike and I play well together. He might argue with that because he covers the court. He's more aggressive. I'm more of like hold my spot, be a little bit more of a defensive player. So our games are complementary. So with this, the DNA, push notifications, sure. It'll come and it'll show you what your partner compatibility is like. So you can find someone that has a complementary game or someone that has the same game as you. And you're like, oh, I want to play with someone that has the same style. So that's the idea of matching it up. Did that answer? There's always that, I think, but the learning curve is short but pretty steep. And so it doesn't take long to go from, I have no idea what I'm doing, I hate this game, to like, I'm going to go buy a $300 paddle. Yeah.
Hi. Oh, over. Okay, sorry, I've been hiding over here with the mic. That actually segues into my question. So this is a great idea, by the way. And I'm someone who's interested in pickleball, but my barrier, I see it when I take my kids to the park, my barrier is like, I'm not part of that world. I don't have a partner. I've never done it before. Like, I don't know even where to go to sign up. Is there some sort of portal for total newbies that are curious that would kind of put us in the right direction and connect us to some people?
Next, opencourt.games.
Okay.
Now people use Playtime Scheduler, which is a free thing, and we're slowly going to move away and transition and adopt this in Southern Oregon is the plan. You show up and you kind of get guided and directed. People like, oh, you're beginning here, come to move to this court or this court. And a lot of times when people post games on Playtime Scheduler or on here, they'll say what the skill level is. And they'll use this number system, which is a little bit confusing. So we're moving to I'm a beginner, I'm an intermediate, I'm intermediate advanced, so it's buckets where it's easier. But I would say do it, just go and play, but also don't do it because it'll become an obsession. I mean, it really, I'm not lying. Like pickleball players are fanatic because that's one of the joys of the game. It gives you an opportunity to do something fun and social and competitive when you might be like, oh, I'm at the age or a body style or bad knees where I can't do sports. Now all of a sudden that I can. So, yes.
I just have a couple questions about kind of safety measures you have on the app for people who maybe don't want to be followed by random players or elderly people or young kids who are playing.
That's great. You have to be 18 to be on the app.
Cool.
And so for the high school version of it that we're doing, there's going to be a subdomain on it. And instead of the plastic avatars, they're going to be wearing, they're going to be plush mascot versions of their school that they represent. So it's separated. You don't have to be dink partners with anybody. So it's just friends. So if you're like, I don't know you, like I don't want to be your dink partner, you don't have to do that. They're not going to have that notification. Part of the thing about avatars, besides making it fun, is it's not you. So again, there's some of that privacy and stuff that's kind of built into that. So we'll have all that, and our privacy plan talks about that, like we don't share data or do any of that stuff. So did that answer your question? Okay.
I don't have a question so much of just a comment. I just want to say your messaging and communication is outstanding. Your marketing skills is like phenomenal. That whole deck, and I know that was commented before, but it was on point. So appreciate you sharing all that with. And one thing I appreciate the most is that when we're thinking of now moving forward, when I'm thinking about pickleball players, I'm just going to assume they all have six packs on their back.
Yeah, that was, I had to take a picture in the thing. No, thank you. My wife does not think I'm a good communicator, so I'm going to let you talk to her, please.
Just play this back later. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Hi.
I just want to add, as somebody who's been playing 5 or 6 years now, I am Mike, and I'm an addict. But if you are interested in getting out and playing and trying it out, Redwood Park pretty much every morning has a group of people who you would consider to be quote-unquote beginners and folks who are very welcoming. You won't find yourself in there with a group of 4.0 or above players that don't want you there, because there's one of the problems I have with pickleball, and I've said it before and I've gotten in trouble with the group, is it has, like most sports, it has an elitism thing going on. So when you get up to a certain level, you only want to play with people that are your level, unless you're a very special person who's willing to take beginner pickleball players under your wing. And there's a group of us that are like that just will play with anybody, and then we work on our shots, whatever those are. But Redwood Park, pretty much every day, you will find a group of people playing there, and it's a large group of people, and they're very accepting. There's paddles there for you to borrow to find out if you like it, but if you've ever swung a paddle at anything before, you are already 25% towards getting pickleball. You just have to learn how to keep score. That's the hardest part about pickleball, is learning to keep score. It is the funnest, most engaging, most socially active and fun game I have ever played in my life, and I've played them all. So.
And from this point forward, you will be known as the Albatross.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Mike's avatar that I picked, and I love that he's the pickleball war. Sure, well done. So
I have a quick question
yes.
on like hers, segue from her question. Do you have a place on here that maybe shows where there's pickleball classes, or where there might be like some kind of lessons or people that might give lessons?
That's version 1.5. So we talked to some coaches, and they'll be able to post things that are on here. And so the big part of this is what's called Courtside, and it's kind of your communication hub. So on here you go to, that's me. And so you come here and you can look at your training plan, And it'll have, based on what you say that you want to work on, it'll have that there, and then it'll also have a listing of local coaches that offer those lessons. So again, that's community, and that's something that's free service that we offer to the coaches for them to advertise that on there because it's community-based.
I have a question. So if anyone is interested in owning a franchise, how can they get more information from you in terms of return on investment, potential growth? Where can people go?
Nextopencourt.games, and we are probably a month from officially launching that. I appreciate the question, and then I hope to get in front of the chambers, and I hope to do that and the pitches and everything else as well. And I've sponsored youth sports teams before as an individual. It's a great thing. The difference on this is that you own something. And you're investing in adults that have money to spend, and they're representing your business. And it's an investment because this is something that you can sell in a couple years. And when this takes off and we have all these sponsors, someone might say, oh, you bought it for $5,000, I'll buy it for 7 or 8 or 9, 10. And best of all, and I realize that money is an important thing, you're investing in your peers and your neighbors that don't normally have a lot of investment, because we're always investing in the kids. You know, so this is pretty cool.
Yeah, over here, Brad Converse. I'm actually CEO at the YMCA. We do quite a bit of pickleball there all the time. We have clinics, and just would love to help you succeed. So if you guys are interested in pickleball, YMCA is a place to do that. Red Park's great too. Club Northwest is great. There's a lot going on. But yeah, it's definitely a large and growing community. We'll have like 50 people there Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. It's wild.
I would love to talk to you about using this. I know you guys use Playtime Scheduler. And before you were there, when I first started coming here to Grants Pass, I was playing, this was like 11 years ago, and was playing this game, and someone hit, and I dove, and I hit the ball around the post, which is ATP, which was my first one ever. It was amazing. And as soon as I landed, I knew I hurt my back. And I'm laying there pumping my fist, my back's in pain, and the woman on the other side of the net, her name was Joyce, I'm pretty sure. She walked up and she said, I'm 85. I was still really happy about the shot, but that's always stuck with me. The Y is an amazing place to play.
David.
One more question?
Oh, last question. Yeah, second to last question.
One more real quick question. What's your franchise area, like territory?
Redwood Coast, Klamath Basin, Rogue, maybe down to Shasta. So we're looking at having 40 teams. 40 teams, yep.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, one more right there. Hand the mic over. Yep, she's right there.
I just wanted to say Jill Ham with Fruitdale Grange. You might want to get connected with her. She's got her finger in everybody's pie, and she is doing like she started up like a senior beginners kind of club for pickleball. So I just wanted to say that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, senior beginners.
Okay. I'll check it out. And again, Nextopencourt.games. There's right now over 50 original songs that are kind of fun. Some of them are parodies. There's podcasts on here if you want to learn more about the game. Just 30 seconds, I'm almost done. I'm sorry. So we've created a whole fictional world called Summit Creek, a town of 500 people that's up kind of like in the mountains that claims to be the original birthplace of pickleball, because pickleball is at a stage now where it deserves mythology and its own story. And so we've created that. So AM 1520, have any of you listened to it? It's a fake station. And Channel 3 Public Access is also a fake station from Summit Creek. And so that's part of our way that we're going to attract people in, is through this viral, fun content. So, sorry,
Last question for you, David.
Yes, sir.
Do you have your finger in everyone's pie? No. I don't. Just the question, how can this community help you?
Invest in yourselves and each other. Come and play the game. It is really a great way to expand your personal network, your professional network. And if you want to help this grow and to be forever free for Next Open Court, consider reaching out to me and saying, how can I help? Like, we would like to sponsor a team for Coaster Creator League, or is there other things that we can do to market our business? Because there's really easy way on here to have banner ads and everything else, and just wave the flag.
David Hanover. You can hang out up here for a second. Yep. Awesome. Was that an awesome presentation? Right up high, up high. So one of the things that came out of that presentation, I think obviously there's a lot of fun that David has in this. He's also obviously very brilliant. So you could take that compliment in front of everybody. Yeah, and fun presentation. So I'm going to propose, and we're going to probably put together a couple of workshops over the next 2 months. And one of those workshops is going to be about presenting and some of the tools and some of the sort of like formatting and things that just help presentations be fun and engaging, like David's. Yeah, very good. And then another one that you brought up in there, David mentioned that he vibe coded this whole thing. So I, for 13 years, owned a software development company. That world is changing incredibly fast. And so what I'm going to propose and put out there is I also have, I went from needing a team of 6 to 8 people to build one thing over the course of 6 to 8 months, spending $250,000 to being able to build something like this by yourself in a couple of months, right? That is, now it does take a skill set, and there are a lot of technical hurdles to get over. That said, I want to host, and I want to talk to David about this. I want to host a workshop where if there's people who have ideas and some technical wherewithal where they have been interacting with AI and some of those other things, I'd love to invite to come in, and we'll do a boot camp workshop around vibe coding, around how to take this idea that you have and build some fun, cool, interesting things, solving a small problem. Would that be interesting to some of you? Okay, yeah, so we can create some access points to that. And then also, there's some people that you could, beyond that, if you wanted to get more coaching or if you wanted to get some assistance building it, obviously that could be a possibility as well. So awesome. Dude, fun. So fun. Are you kidding? He's created a radio station too. That's wild.
Pickle. If you're interested in the pitch deck, and this is probably not going to be on long, that QR code will take you to it. So.
Pitch deck. Yes, snap that. All right. Amazing. Did you have something? Okay, come on up. Thank you.
We have another announcements later, but I had something that I wanted to do today. Trevor.
Stop.
I plugged Trevor. Person of the Year award. So I used AI and I plugged in my friend Trevor. And I said, I'm this incredible human that I get to work with. I feel very honored. Who graciously offers this space for us to host 1MC and other events. And it was really great to see what Claude said. It was really positive, and I'm not going to share it. No, I'm kidding. But just really to honor Trevor. Always kind, always listens, gracious, incredible host. And really, truly, this would not be possible without him. And I was sharing with him, it was quite a few years, almost 2 years back, and it was a busy chamber event. And I thought, if there's somebody I want to connect with, it's Trevor. If I want to build something with, ideate with, be entrepreneurial with, it's Trev. And I go in, he's busy, he's manning his station back there, and I said, hey, I look like Kramer, I was wild-eyed. I'm surprised, if you work with me, I slid and I said, hey, do you want to host a 1MC? And you said?
There are kids in the room.
Okay, heck yeah. So tell me about it. And we visited, and so that's where the 1MC, which is a Kauffman Foundation event, but that's where it was born. And so others had reached out, and Terry's here, and this is our friend, Trevor, who does so much so selfishly in our community. And when we talk about making dreams come true, if there's a need, Trevor's there. He's the first one to step up and say, how can I help you? He's mentored, he's been responsible for some businesses that are in our region. And so I get to give Trevor a gift. Are you ready? I'm afraid to kneel. I might not get back up. So can we all, please, congratulate this incredible human?
I'm part of the Orange Mug Club.
You're amazing. Person of the year, Trevor, and you're in. Would you like to?
No, I thank you all. I mean, this is fun, and I so appreciate this. And I guess if I had anything to say, it's that recognition is an important part of being in space with each other and showing up for each other and acknowledging each other for the things that you bring and you bring to this community. And so, what I will lob out there and leave for you is find someone today to acknowledge and recognize in some way and make them feel like Kim just made me feel. All right? Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week at 9:30 right here Wednesday for another 1MC. Have a great week.
Try